Tonight, we're going to talk about melatonin, the melatonin night cream. And I think what you're going to discover in this is not just a regular melatonin cream. This is something very unique. And it's unique in its delivery technology, LDT, using the skin as a point of administration. But it's also unique in that the ingredients and cofactors in all of my topical creams, and it's a complete line that Fund Saver Network distributes, and it's all for you to take advantage of in the Fund Saver Network. But what's unique about this topical cream is that it is got not only melatonin, being able to utilize it through the skin rather than the mouth, is that it also has 4 anti-aging ingredients in it in conjunction with the melatonin. So one would think, well, I understand melatonin, maybe I use melatonin, or why do I use melatonin? And typically most people understand that melatonin is a gateway to regulate circadian rhythm. So it is a tool by which to be utilized to get to sleep. And what it really does is regulate circadian rhythm. So it controls the ability for you to drift and go to sleep. There's many things that we can talk about. And in these conversations we talk, there's a wide range of conversation about sleep protocols, and your issues of getting to sleep, staying to sleep, insomnia, restless leg syndrome, all stress. I can go to sleep, but I can't back to sleep. It's a wide range of sleep issues. And that's kind of a lot of the topic of conversation. But if we want to focus on just one topical cream that'll get you to sleep, it is the melatonin night cream. This is the product. It's called Melatonin Deep Sleep Plus. But in the process, it wasn't enough just for me, I thought, to develop a molecule or develop melatonin as the molecule that I wanted to put into a formulation. It was the idea of the study associated, why I decided on this as the first cream I wanted to do. And the reason was because I was a big advocate and follower of Dr. Russell Ryder, who really is the godfather of melatonin. He's written over 1,500 peer-reviewed articles on melatonin and what this wonderful molecule does for us. And it's not much more than just a sleep molecule, but that's what most people know. And they say, yeah, I know what melatonin is. Well, yeah, as a sleep aid, as a molecule to get you to sleep, it's wonderful. But in the course of tonight, it does so many other things. And one of the interesting things it does is in regards to regulating the free radical scavenger. It is a free radical scavenger and a super antioxidant. And that was the main reason I wanted this formulated. It has a side effect, if you will, in that it's a gateway to sleep, but it also has so many benefits that we'll kind of dive into. But just kind of reviewing you of what I do. I am a formulator and I am the manufacturer. There's no middleman in this product for me. I formulate with my wife, and we have a beautiful lab out of Texas. And we've been doing this, like I said, for over 16 years. So this is a trusted product line by doctors, for doctors, in clinical use, a number of studies associated with it in its use. And melatonin probably has more studies about the efficacy of it than vitamin C over all these years. But once again, Dr. Russell Ryder is the reason I got interested in that. And he really is the main source. So I can recommend you all to try to resource his book if you're interested more, but we'll dive into the topics of what he talks about. But specifically, I'm describing this cream and what it does for you. In the cofactors that are in this cream, besides just melatonin, it has 4 anti-aging ingredients that are very important. And the first cream it has is the vitamin niacinamide, which is a B vitamin. It's the darling of the cosmetic industry currently, or it wasn't when I first started, because it wasn't really known to be involved in so much of the cosmeceutical areas that it was involved with. Because if I developed a topical cream, it's got to be, in my point of view at the time, luxurious and available to women precisely as a wonderful moisturizing cream, but also a nighttime cream that not only did it give a gateway to sleep, but it actually improved the skin condition and their skin texture. So by adding niacinamide as a B vitamin, it had all that benefits of what the B vitamins do for skin, hair, and nails. So it's really nutritious in that factor for niacinamide. We can dive into that too. It also has MSM, which many of you might be familiar with in terms of that. It's a sulfur-based product, but that also increases new skin formation. The other ingredient that it has is DMAE. Nickname of this is facelift in a bottle, which is so wonderful for maintaining tightness of the skin around the neckline. And I also added alpha lipoic acid to this. So when you hear my conversations that I talk on every Wednesday, when I break down what the cream's about, I'll talk to you about the cofactors, what was the science involved in it, but I try to keep it simple. As a formulator, I want to make it available for you to understand what it is in a simple terms rather than getting really technical, because I could bog you down with a lot of the information. But if you do have questions, I'm always happy to answer. But in this process, I developed this wonderful cream that not only was it a cream that really encouraged what people were having a really hard time with was as we age, as we get past the age of 35, we really stop producing endogenously or through our body melatonin. It just decreases as we age. That's really due to basically to the interference of light, which is a whole nother concept of how we produce melatonin through our eyes, through the pineal gland. But our body, our gut also produces melatonin too. It's another story. I'll go briefly on that in terms of how much melatonin is provided and manufactured in our gut. But it's developed in the mitochondria. So it's really a cellular function that melatonin benefits so much. But I was really amazed at how it was utilized for the skin. Now, an example of this will be that I'm about to turn 71 in April. And I don't think necessarily my age. I do have plenty of gray hair, but I come from a large family, 4 other brothers and a sister, and all younger brothers except for one, and they've all lost their hair. They look very old, and they are younger than me. And the key ends up being is in the process of developing this, it's really been the process of how I've maintained kind of a youthful look, and I have so much skin damage. I'm a guy that's basically been in the sun most of my life, lived in Latin America for years and years. I went to school, I lived in Australia, New Zealand, and I had way over my share. I do have skin cancer. I've had Mohs surgery right down the middle of my forehead before I created these products. And so since then, this is kind of what I really needed to, one, protect my skin, but also evolve my skin, because when I came back, after years of almost 9 years in New Zealand and Australia, I looked like an old man. I had wrinkles all over my face. I had skin damage. I had spider veins all over my face. My skin was very thin. You can almost see through my skin. And as I walked off the plane, my mother, greeted me and said, "Hey, old man, you look like an old man." And so it was interesting that in the process of my career that I ended up being in a position to create a product that could have so much effect. Like all of the creams that I'll have, they have a direct reason for why I formulated them, and they answer the question of a better way to supplement. Once again, using the skin as the point of administration rather orally. So if you think about supplementation, it's like most of you, you're taking many, many, many oral supplements, all different type of supplements. Maybe you take them during the day, along with also pharmaceuticals. And so what I really saw was the unique advantage, and this is what you're having the opportunity to take advantage of, is using the skin as the portal by which you could supplement a lot of the needs that you might want. Our line covers all kinds of different things, from sleep to neuropathy to pain to stress, to digestion, to detoxification. So we cover all those gamuts, but tonight we're talking about the melatonin night cream and the protocols by which we can utilize this cream and how we utilize them. So that's just a kind of a brief introduction in terms of who am I and what Nutra Relief is. So I know it's brief, but a lot of people have heard me, and I'll lead off most nights by reintroducing myself. But most people kind of know what we've been doing, and we've been involved now for the past year. So a lot of you have used the cream, appreciate all the testimonials and all of the wonderful uses that have been applied for this in terms of helping people get better sleep. But beyond that, it has so many more functions that I really like to talk about tonight in terms of it. And that's the reason why I mentioned Russell Ryder, because in this process of understanding the melatonin molecule, it does so many wonderful situations, things that it does as core physiological roles, health and disease prevention, and the other things that that offers in cardiovascular benefits and mood. And that's what most people don't understand. This is just not your mom's melatonin and you take it and you go or get to sleep. This is a cream that really gets you into that circadian rhythm, which is a nighttime function of deep sleep. So the cream itself is wonderful that you can target the location that you want to utilize these creams, like all of my creams. The beauty of using the skin as the point of administration is that you can put it where it matters. So if you've got issues with, I want to go to sleep, and I think it's a mind issue, but at the same time, your anxiety or you've got insomnia and you have a hard time getting to sleep, using the face as location for it is an easy way to go. And the benefits is, since it has 4 anti-aging ingredients in it, you're also applying it to your face in a very simple way. We can talk about the protocol of putting it on, but then you're getting these benefits of nightly sleep and the benefits of anti-aging and melatonin as a free radical scavenger. And that free radical scavenger aspect of it is very important, because now this cream is being utilized in terms of where I live here in Palm Desert, which is by Palm Springs. This is really, and I've used this term before, this is Parkinson's City. This is where really all the elephants like myself go in their last years of their life, and a lot of folks are of elder age. And a big practice here with the Eisenhower Hospital is in Parkinson's. So I work with a lot of doctors in terms of alternatives for helping people with Parkinson's, dementia, early dementia, and Alzheimer's. And this product itself has been so beneficial because one of the main doctor protocols in this is deep reparative sleep. This is one of the main conditions in terms of healthy living, is getting good sleep protocol, getting that complete line, 8 hours, 7 hours of deep sleep for repairing. I dive deep into this function of deep sleep. And I'll mention that right up front here about something that I think is important. I sorry when I go a little off topic, but there's so many elements to this, but I don't think people are really aware of it, that in getting to sleep and staying asleep, one of the most important aspects of sleeping and getting the health benefits from sleep is the function that we've just discovered just a couple of years back. Was a scientist discovered that the brain itself during the sleep cycle, getting to sleep, staying to sleep, but in the deep REM sleep, which is what the melatonin will bring you to, the deep dream state sleep, is this thing called a glymphatic system, the glymphatic system with a G. Now, I think a number of you are familiar with the other system of lymphatic system with an L. The lymphatic system cleans out the toxins in your body. Well, we always used to think that the brain was just basically a closed system, that the blood-brain barrier stopped any transfer to get to the brain. But that is the beauty of the melatonin, in that it does go through the blood-brain barrier. And in its effectiveness to create an entryway to sleep, this glymphatic system every night in the deep stages of sleep is a cleaning. It's an actual cleansing of the brain. Not many people really realize this. It doesn't happen if you don't get that deep, restorative, deep levels of dream sleep, REM sleep, and the lower levels of sleep. It initiates that lymphatic system by which it then really washes the brain, and that the garbage is being taken out through the spinal column and the spinal fluid. Didn't realize this for a long time. So this restorative sleep process is very key to health. And, in almost any doctor you talk about in terms of, your immune function and staying healthy, it's those folks that are getting good, sound, solid sleep that benefit from it. So one of the things I really like about this was using the face as a location for protocol. And that's the benefits with the anti-aging. With this, the melatonin night cream, you can actually use it anywhere on your body, on your neck, on your thyroid, on your arms, on your feet, on your legs. That's the beauty of all of my creams. It enters through the body and it's diffused through the metabolism on contact. That is the liposomal technology. We can dive deeper into that at another time, but I kind of want to keep it brief about describing how the cream works. And you can use it and take the benefits. It gets into the circulatory system, it's diffused into the cells, and it's really incredible how it works on any location. But the benefits for the face as a location is twofold in that it will give you the gateway to sleep, but it will also increase that moisturization, the actual creation of new fibroblasts. And that's the key to one of the anti-aging ingredients in it. It's working from the outside in. So much of this beauty technology that you're seeing and all of the cosmeceutical products that are out there is they are looking at taking oral or collagen, or they're trying to do digestive things that will make more beautiful skin. Yeah, that's a great idea if you literally can take advantage of those and you can increase the absorption through your gut, but that's the problem. In my topical cream, we're going directly to the skin, through the skin, and you're nurturing new skin to be created, new fibroblasts. So that's a novel concept, a novel approach. And in most dermaceuticals and cosmeceutical creams that are out there, following them, they're just layered effects. I mean, have you ever, whenever you go, my wife will sometimes annually say, "Hey, Daniel, I want to get you a facial." And I go, "Yeah, sure, let's go for a facial." And all I see it is a wipe on, wipe off, wipe on, wipe off. And it's a very quick, moisturizing with all these different products, but they're not really penetrating deep into the skin. And that is the key to the liposomal technology. We are literally going through the skin, down into the tissue, and the diffusion into the capillaries, and into offering the properties of new fibroblasts. Where the skin cells are being made, we're nourishing them directly with the alpha lipoic acid, with the MSM, with the DMAE, and the niacinamide to create new skin. So coming back from years and years of sun damage, serious sun damage, I basically have reformulated my skin. It's literally a new skin that I formulate, much thicker skin. It's all new. The spider veins have all gone, and the wrinkles basically just became filled in with the new skin. And what you always seen in these dermaceutical products are the fine lining wrinkles. They're just putting kind of moisturizing elements on it. I kind of put the analogy to, we are, our skin really, as we age, is like the bark on the outside of a tree. I mean, it's rough and it's there, and there's a lot of years that you can see in that, but it's like putting topical cream on the bark. Not much you can really do if you're just putting moisturizing on the bark. The key is to recreate new skin, or in this case, new bark. And this is really how this cream is so effective in what it does for cosmeceutically, but then as a function of giving deep sleep to you. So that is really kind of in a short term, in a half-hour explanation to you. This is the melatonin night cream. This is just one of the creams of a complete line of 12 different products that we carry here with the Fun Saver Network. And just a real brief description of it. I can go into so many different aspects of how it works and different things, but I'll kind of leave you with one of the things about melatonin. If for whatever reason you're kind of saying, not really interested in melatonin. Melatonin is in every blade of grass, in every insect, and in every vertebrae. So it's a mitochondrial function. And at another time, we'll get involved in some of the, utilizations of melatonin in the mitochondria that really creates cell function, how it helps in the life and death and protection of our immune system, that melatonin does. Very interesting. But can imagine, though, if it's evolved alongside of us, regulating our sleep cycle from all the animals and plants, they all wake up and they close, and everything is reactive based on this melatonin molecule that's in all of us. It's something we really need to pay attention to. And specifically as we age and we start to manufacture less of it. It's a very important molecule for so many functions. And our children are just swimming in melatonin. I mean, all the children, just the babies, they can sleep all day. Sleep is essential. I mean, one day without sleep, God, I'm a wreck. Sleep deprivation. And so many people, 80% of the population suffers from some form of sleep deprivation, incomplete sleep cycles, and the damage that it does, and the cause effect of so much of the functions of the brain. They're tying the connection. The gut-brain axis is a big part of the discoveries that's going on here with Parkinson's research and Alzheimer's. But really, sleep is one of those things that is the precursor to the sleep is a problem for reparation and brain function, for all the deterioration of our cognition. It's about sleep and functions of the gut associated. So you can see by bypassing the gut and really allowing the skin to do the work of supplementation and digestion for a lot of these amino acid, vitamins, and minerals that are the basis of all of my creams. I do some hormones. I do a progesterone cream. I do D3, which is a hormone. Melatonin is a hormone. But in utilizing these hormones, they're just basic supplementation to a small dose, just the amount that you need. That's what's so distinctly different in what I do in terms of a topical. The absorption, taking my creams and the way it's metabolized is so quick in terms of, and the body absorbing it all into diffusion, into the cells, into the blood cells, and into the circulatory system, is it's all absorbed, 99%, versus the digestive system. That's why you're in your supplements or even in your prescription drugs, 100, 200, 300, 500 milligrams, when you're really only getting 10 or 20% of that through the digestive tract. So by bypassing digestion entirely, I'll leave the digestion alone to, dealing with that ham sandwich I just ate a little while ago. And the key is, when you want to supplement, let's use your skin in a functional way that you're getting almost 100% of that for neuropathy, for pain, for B12 supplementation, bypassing the need to methylation through your gut, all these different situations that we have. But going back to your sleep issue, we had it when we were young. We slept well when we were children. But even in the case of children, this melatonin is safe for children to utilize. We do a lot of work with children on the spectrum. In fact, as my first partner, Dr. Alan Schwartz, wrote the book on Autism Revealed. And he had a really soft spot in his heart for trying to create creams that were specifically for kids on the spectrum, their agitation, their inability to sleep. And this was one of the things we were focused on: nootropics, amino acid, but making creams for people, but with the hope that children could utilize them too. with the the parental guide of that. And when the parents used the product, they saw it, and then they'd administered it directly to their children under their supervision. It's done wonders for issues like sleep, like ADHD, post-traumatic stress, agitation, so many things, so many functions. It just goes on and on.